So everybody, I want to introduce you to Robert and Deidre from
Hey.
Swamp Creek Cabin.
We purposely made it a tongue twister.
So we are going to be working on the little cabin today, and you guys have brought up so many wonderful tools and so much expertise. And I'm hoping
We'll see about that.
No, I'm hoping I can go beyond baling twine as a building medium.
Yes, we will get you past that.
Right? So what project are we working on today?
We're going to be working on building the stairs and doing some storage in behind them.
And what is your channel focused on? Why from me watching your channel was I so excited to have you come?
We're renovating 1950s cabin. It's a total disaster, and we are trying to make it not as much of a disaster.
Pretty much gutting it room by room and putting all of the elements in there that weren't there, such as plumbing.
Yeah.
And water.
And roofs in some situations.
Yeah,
yep.
we just got done doing the bathroom. It was all caved in and moldy and disgusting, and it's not that way anymore. So. We bought a cabin! Well, I have never in my life pounded wedges with a picaroon. Timber!
We have buried a cabin. Oh my god, look at it.
I'm sure that if you guys have requests, like if you're working on your own DIY project, maybe you can even send them requests and say, I really don't know what I'm doing on X, Y, and Z. Maybe you can make a short film. I know requests have been some of my better videos where I really don't know what my audience wants to see, and so I get to have them here personally and be like, teach me how to build a ladder.
Are you ready to cut this? Oh, I'll go.
Well, you said you were going to give me some tips.
Yeah. So, okay. So, table saw. If you just want it as a workstation, you can just lower the blade. But there's a little wheel down here, basically, and that will raise and lower the blade. So this is a 10-inch miter saw, so you can get pretty good usable cut out of it. And then this other wheel on the side here adjusts the angle.
Yeah.
So if you want to cut an angled cut. This is just a homemade push stick, and so if you're cutting something that's pretty close to the blade, let's say I want to, usually the rule of thumb is 3 inches. If you're cutting something smaller than 3 inches in width, you're going to use a push stick, because you don't want your fingers close to that blade. And so if you don't have sawhorses, you always have a work table right here, bed of a truck. And I've used the bed of the truck for years and years and years before I had sawhorses. It works very well for cutting off. You can have a whole full sheet of plywood in there and cut off end pieces and that sort of stuff. I don't know, that's why I always use it for. I still use it even if I'm not close to wanting to set up a workbench or something. I just drop the tailgate and work off of that. Okay, so we're going to cut this piece of plywood.
Okay.
So you got safety glasses, and we need to get you some ear muffs or some ear things. So you're going to set your table there.
Is it up or down?
Up to release, and then slide it.
And so 10 and like 1/8?
Yep. And usually it gets a little cockeyed, so push the handle down and it'll kind of straighten itself.
Okay.
And then lift it back up, and then just give it a little tap if it's still out of line.
How would I know that it was out of alignment?
By your thing. Is it exactly on 10 and 1/8?
I think so.
Well, you got really lucky then.
Right?
Yeah. Go ahead and just crank that handle back down then. You're good.
Okay.
Alright, so what's the other thing we need to remember before we cut this?
I need to hold on to it and push it up against the board when it's ready?
And you only want to bring this down quite a ways too.
Okay.
So we locked this, so just go ahead and unlock that and then crank it down. And usually I'll just put the board I'm cutting up next to it just so I can tell. And roughly a 1/4 inch above. There you go, perfect.
Okay.
and just tighten that back down. But as a general rule, if you do those things, you will maintain your fingers.
Right.
The other thing you're not supposed to do is wear jewelry.
Okay.
I can't get mine off, but if you can get yours off.
Okay.
And the reason
I'll lose it.
The reason for that is if you get your ring caught on there, or pull your whole hand in instead of losing a finger. Yeah.
Mangled.
So like loose fitting clothing, you're okay.
I did do my hair up because I figured that was a good thing to keep my hair.
Yeah, like if you have like shirt sleeves and stuff hanging down, it'd be a good idea to roll them up.
Okay.
We don't want you to get you sucked in.
Don't want to be sucked in. Why are we doing this again?
You can go ahead and just stop. You can go ahead and just cycle through it just so you're comfortable with the feel. Oh, and make sure it's plugged in.
Plug it in.
Dun, dun, dun. This is the way you don't want to start a project.
We've got 1 out of 3. That's not good. I don't know where they went. I don't know where they went.
When your 3-prong cord turns into a 1-prong.
It doesn't work very well. That's 1 inch rough saw. So for the steps, I mean typically you'd have a 12-inch board for a step. So we can do a couple things. We can slap 2 of them together out of this material to make 1 step, or we can go into town and get some 2x12s for steps for the stairs.
Let's slap them together.
Okay. The very first thing we need to figure out before we get started with anything is how many steps that we're going to have. So we'll have to figure out our rise and our run, and basically to do that we just measure out, see how tall we're going, and we'll use that number to calculate how many steps we need.
I know, it's such a nice saw, right? I love this saw. And our glowering sky in the background. That is not a happy looking sky. Inside, so the storm blew over.
Doesn't it always work that way?
Yeah.
All right, Julie, so we're going to figure out from here straight down where our steps are going to start. We're not doing a stringer that we're going to lay up here like we would traditionally do. So we're going to do traditional kind of almost like wall framing as we go, and then we'll have storage in between those compartments of the framing. So basically we're going to measure everything out on the floor so we know where our framing needs to go up. So we need to find our point from here straight down so we can work from this point back that way. So this is a plumb bob. Basically it's just a pendulum on a string, and we'll hold it here in the corner, and we'll get it to stop swinging, and we'll find our marks there. Okay. And then we're going to use that to measure back and lay out our stairs.
Cool deal.
So rather than coming off with a square off the wall may not be parallel to this. So rather than coming off with an angle square, just because it's probably not perpendicular up there, we're just going to use this or make a mark on the floor. The problem is if we come off the wall and try to make it square off the wall, it might not meet the top fully square. So like we could put this against the wall and bring a line out, but the odds are that and that are not 90 degrees. So we're just making it parallel to the rafters up there because that's what we're going to be mating to. And Josh can make the walls match. So I got the easy part. He's got to make it look pretty when he's done.
That's Essential Mountain Homestead.
Yeah, Josh.
For all of you who haven't been following.
You're welcome, Josh. Sorry.
Okay, so let's do a progress report. How are we on our progress? How long do we think it'll be? What did we do yesterday? What are we doing today?
So yesterday we cut up a bunch of our treads. We're having to mate 2 boards together to make 1 tread because we're using some reclaimed material. So we got those cut to length, finished pocket screwing them together, and we're working on our I don't know what you call them. I'm a cabinet guy. Toe kicks, whatever they are on a stair. Getting those all put together. You're finishing up those right now. You're about halfway through.
Do you want to show some of them?
Sure.
Yeah. That helps with the imagery.
So this will be the toe kick as you come up the stairs.
So your stair will sit like this, and you'll see this.
Yep.
Which I think is pretty.
I think it's really pretty. And Dee Dee thought of taking a little bit of the finish off, so I think it has a nicer color to it.
Yeah, I think it adds a little bit of variation to it.
Yeah.
And then kind of variation in the boards that we're using.
Yeah, I think it's turned out really pretty.
And that way you don't have splinters in your toes when you come down the stairs in the
Right?
morning.
Yeah, heels
Just
and toes
bruises.
and splinters are not ideal.
We're gonna start slapping some stuff together pretty quick here as soon as those 2 components are done. I'm gonna start framing in on the so like every couple stairs we're gonna have some studs going up to help support it because we're not doing a traditional stringer. So I'm getting stuff set up for where those are gonna be at inside right now. We'll get those kind of framed up and then we'll kind of start assembling it in place, I guess. So this is a really rough ghetto version, but basically our stairs are going to come up and then box out where the entry is, so that'll make it a little easier as you get to the top of the stairs to kind of curl in. And so we'll have bracing running down here. We'll have a small little opening for storage here, bracing, small opening for storage, and then bracing, and then a larger opening. We'll probably do like a little bookshelf on this side right here, and then access on the back side to the depth of the cabinet right there.
But area maybe for hanging clothes in that tall one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Thank you. That's the plan. Things never work out according to plan. Okay, Julie, so we're going to have you do this. We're going to have you build basically the first riser here. And we're just going to screw everything together. So kind of like we have the framing for the wall here, we're going to just mimic that as we go up.
Okay.
And then for some of the storage, we'll just cut out one of the rafters, not rafter. As we go along, every so often we'll skip a stud and leave that as an opening for storage.
Okay.
We'll fully frame the backside, but we'll skip a couple in the middle there for storage.
Okay.
So we're going to have you screw this together as we go along. I'm going to actually leave this base free floating until we're 100% sure. And kind of like with our studs, as we go up, we're basically using a bottom plate here. And then as we go up, we'll keep nailing to that. And the reason for that is to help distribute the weight. Because if you just did a regular 2x4 on the floor, the weight over time is going to want to poke holes where those studs are. So that's why when you look at framing like that, it helps distribute that weight evenly when you have it like that. So the stairs will be fairly heavy when we're done, and this will help support the weight.
Cool.
So we're going to do 8.75. So basically we have this set upstairs, and then we're gonna build another box right here.
Okay.
For that'll be later. So it'll be a small little piece along the bottom, and we'll come up with frames over here too. Hey Julie?
Yes, sir.
I'm planning on attaching this with screws through the side. We can use brads if you want something less visible, but I think for stability it'd
I
be
like
best
stability.
for screws. Okay. Looks like you got the hang of it down. You're rocking it.
Okay. All right.
Next one.
Oh, that's gonna look so cool. This is a good place to start.
So just kind of look through there and
Okay. Oh, that was
match
good.
where
That's where it should be.
it would be coming across like that. And it would come a little further away from the edge, just so you don't split it.
Okay.
Nailed it. We just need to make sure we're like... Oh, it is sticking out a little bit, isn't it? Okay. Alright, so we will grab it and notch it real quick. Yeah, we should be able to kind of
Yeah, I think that's
pick it
good.
over.
Is it still not quite there? Oh, wow.
I told you we should just put everything on casters.
Right?
I'm trying to convince him everything in our life needs to be on
But
casters.
then you'd never have to really decide anything. You just move it whenever.
Don't you move that by yourself.
Not
Julie.
moving it by myself. Okay.
So,
Did the board come in? Did I put
yeah,
in the board?
it's sitting back there. It's ready to go. We'll just slide it up and we're ready for it.
Okay.
So we'll probably, I'll shove it this way just a hair, and then we'll shove it over, and then we'll shove it back, just so we're not scraping and dragging up there.
Okay.
That's gonna make it harder.
Do you want me to come back and help you?
You just wanna push on the bottom corner over
He's
there,
just a
babe?
man, like,
Yeah.
Alright, we know when everybody's ready.
ready.
Okay.
Got more?
Nope, we need to trim our board right there.
Sawzall?
Sawzall, yeah, so let's pull it back out just a little bit and come forward all the way. Shove it all the way back. And then we'll scribe it to that board up there. Thank you. Got a curl in it, doesn't it? We'll push it back your way just a skoch. Okay. And then against the wall.
Cool.
Okay, and then my way some. Okay, I do need to trim some.
And name of channel?
Swamp Creek. See? Ha. We're just talking about how much of a tongue twister is. Swamp Creek Cabin. What do you mean, earmuffs with shooting?
Well, we use them for shooting, but we've got kids that we want to be able to hear us when we yell across the pasture.
There's a reason I'm half deaf.
Right?
Table saws and guns without ear. Oh, am I supposed to talk?
Wait. Okay.
I think that's 6 inches, honey.
Really?
I think that is a 6-inch distance.
Okay. So
Wait,
2.5
we
feet.
have a tape measure. We can figure
Right.
Yeah,
Let's get the
bring the tape
exactly.
measure.
Here.
We'll get it.
There you go. Hi, Dee.
2.5 feet.
It's not awkward at all.
You're right. It's not a little weird or anything.
I'm like, you're in my bubble. I've got a 2.5 foot bubble.
Right?